Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play series for a U-Boat. You might be wondering, if you've been watching the channel for a while, why I'm starting a brand new series. It's because I was not liking the pacing of the last series. Actually, after I put up the last episode, which I believe was episode 39, I went and recorded like 4 hours of episodes, and nothing happened in 4 hours of gameplay. So I was like, I can't really put that online, and I've already put a few of those types of episodes up where I run around for like half an hour or an hour and nothing happens. And I really feel like I need to streamline things a little bit. So there's going to be, I'm going to carry the burden of all the boring bits myself because I still have to play them. There's still going to be 4 hours of me doing nothing. But I'm going to try to do a better job of kind of cutting around with the video so that you guys come in for the action and not necessarily there for all of the boring bits and things like that. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it goes a little bit better. And I just didn't feel like doing that in the middle of a series. I feel like a brand new series made more sense if I'm going to start changing the format of how I'm doing the videos. So also the other thing we're going to try to do is we're going to try to beeline the Type 7 a little bit quicker this time, now that I kind of understand a little bit better how to get that. And hopefully that makes the game more interesting as well. So let's go ahead and jump into this. We're going to jump into a new game. We're going to start back with the 2A. I really like that start, but I just want to kind of jump through it a little bit quicker. We are going to continue doing the hardcore. We're going to continue doing expert. The only thing we're going to turn off, I believe, again, we're at 100% realism right now. The only thing I'm going to turn off is the darkness thing because it just makes the videos just look like garbage on YouTube. And so I realize we're not technically at 100%, but we're in the spirit of 100% because at least we avoid having just absolute garbage videos because YouTube just can't translate the dark tones very well when you do the editing, the processing, and stuff like that. So everything else I think is going to be okay. Is there anything else interesting that we can play as a skipper and all that kind of stuff? Economic. I just want to make sure there's no other things that we can hit the button on. I'm okay with kilometers and knots. Coordinate system, classic is fine. Mission complete, automatic, only if enough. Yeah, that's fine too. Collision damage, torpedoes, realistic. I think that's all right. I mean, I don't think we can make the settings any harder. Somebody mentioned before that there was a way to make the settings harder previously. And we're not going to do like any sort of periscope stabilization as cool as that would be. Size of convoys, default. What is this? Major performance impact. Enormous extreme performance impact. Recommend only for machines with at least 32 gigs of RAM and a recent CPU. I do have that. It would be cool to have enormous convoys, but at the same time, I don't know. Sometimes enormous convoys are actually not as good. All right, I think that's everything else is good. I don't think there's any changes we're going to change here. I think we're good with all of the settings. Again, the only setting we're turning off is the darker nights, and that's just for the YouTube videos themselves. So let's go. Honestly, I don't care about you too much. Just have you be whoever you is. We will change our name here though. And I'll go ahead and skip through this because, again, the nature of more precise and to-the-point videos, I don't think we'll watch the intro here. So I'll bring you guys along for some of the port actions, and then, of course, when we actually find ships that we're going to be tracking, I'll bring you guys along for a lot of that action. But as far as all the in-betweeny, just traveling around the world bits, those are probably the parts I'm going to be cutting out a little bit more. If I have to make a run through the English channel, unless I get into some serious trouble and I want to bring you guys along for that, expect to skip a lot of those types of things as well. All right, we're back to our ship here. We've seen this one before. We're good old ship. We enjoy this one a lot. We're not going to have our officer that has the ability to scuttle ships yet, so I do need to take that into account. Let me jump in here and let's just set up our schedules real quick because that is kind of an important thing. Let me we got you over there. Let me move you over so you guys are together, and then we'll have our two engineers together as well. So that all looks good. We'll just come in here and actually let me just change your tasks. So we're gonna have one radio officer for right now. Then we'll have two chief engineers and two I guess watch officers. Yeah, watch officers. Basically what we want. Although we're gonna be changing around some stuff here. You're gonna be doing. I mean, repairs first is fine. Engine second is good. You guys are not gonna be doing the lookout stuff though, so we're gonna put that to a 0. And we'll put this up to like an 8 or something of that nature. And that looks good to me. You are going to be, combination listening for contacts, listening for transmissions. We're going to be listening for contacts primarily. I don't think there's any reason to change anything else here other than just making you a radio officer. What is a technician officer? Oh, technician officer actually is more focused on listening for context. Maybe that's actually what we want you to kind of default for us anyway. That all looks good. Although we do want you to first aid if it comes up, which I believe I have to do the, how do I do it? There we go. Is there a way to do it? Shift, mouse scroll. Why is it not doing it? Oh, there we go. It just wasn't registering. Okay. So we do want you to do first aid ahead of listening for context if it comes up. Everything else looks good. So schedules, we'll just put ourselves here, 6 and 6. You guys have seen me do this before, but essentially what I'm doing is I'm doing alternating schedules for our guys that are going to be doing the navigation, and then an alternating schedule for our guys that are going to be doing the engines. And the combination of that is what's going to make our Type 2A fuel stretch as long as possible, which is very important for these early missions. And then for you, you are, what did we say, 4 hours on, 2 hours off, I believe it was? Or did I have it backwards? I think it's 4 hours on, 2 hours off. So, or no, it's 3 and 3. That's right. 3 and 3. So we'll do that. I don't know if it really matters which pattern I use. So 3 and 3 for you. And then once we get a second radio operator, that'll make things a lot better. Squads, we're going to go ahead and give you guys 2 sailors each. So when you come on, you'll have your full setup. And then boat stuff, we are going to be on the surface for 2 hours and dive for 2 hours. Surface for 2 hours, dive for 2 hours. That'll be our normal schedule. I messed something up. I was going to say, I did this wrong by off by 1. There we go. That's what we want. And finally, we're going to go to our crew, and we want to make sure none of them ever look through the periscope, because we don't want the periscope popping up at times that we do not need it to be popping up. Okay, that takes care of all of that. Anything else we need to add? Shifts are okay. We got all this set up. You're going to be doing navigation primarily. You're going to be doing engines primarily. Everything else looks great. We don't have the opportunity to get a new officer, do we? I don't think we do. We can come over here and just check to make sure. Because if we get another, if we can get another radio operator, that would be awesome. I don't think we have the permission for that yet. We don't have any available. And I think this takes money, but we don't have anybody. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure before we got away here, because getting a radio operator is a nice thing to have. Do we have anybody that has merchant skills? So let me go back. Can we see that here? Yeah. So you're French. We're actually French ourselves. You're always running. You're always running. You are also French. Okay, well, that's good to know. Yeah, we do have a merchant. So Harold Von Drisky here is going to be changing his name to, he is a radio. So we're going to probably make him primarily our hydrophone. We'll also make him a merchant. And you guys know I like to tag these guys just so I know who's who when I'm looking at the list. We won't specialize you guys until we actually, well, get specializations for you. And we'll kind of go from there. So 2 engine guys are together, 2 of these guys together, and our radio operator is back on the back. I like it. Let's take our merchant and let's go check to make sure there's nothing we can buy here from the vendor. Trying to speed through this first little bit here a bit quickly. Let's make sure, how much money we got? We got a little bit of money. We need to make sure we have some torpedoes first. Which we don't have the upgraded torpedoes that we've had in the past. Truth be told, I'm actually kind of okay with the free torpedoes for now. Save us a little bit of money. So let's just grab as many free torpedoes as we can. That will be sufficient for what our purposes are for the moment. And save us a little bit of money. As far as items, we definitely want some dynamite if we can bring it. And we can't afford a gun yet. We can't afford this yet. Everything else is going to stay the same. We do need some food though. And let me take a look at the food in just a second. Let's go ahead and check our boat real quick and make sure that we've got the food set up here. So we got fish, potatoes, bacon, and canned bread. Oh, I need to move some of you back. I'm just going to even everything out perfectly here. Oh, I did that wrong. We want you to have 10 of that. And we want 20 of that. There we go. So 30 of everything. And if we can get some more of each of those, that would be great. That would be kind of ideal, actually. Because what I want to do is I want to carry only just 4 types of food. I've carried more varieties in the past. But I think if we carry less varieties of food, but just enough of those varieties, then we're actually going to be in a good place for carrying other types of things. So we'll grab as much canned bread as we can. We'll grab a bunch of fish. And we just can't grab anything else right now. We could grab more meat than we currently have, but I think this is fine. We'll go with what we have. Maybe I grab one more item, but instead of grabbing like every possible variety, we might just grab one more type of item just so I can grab some other things. So maybe I don't know, let's grab some more canned stuff. I know I'm sure it's probably, actually, you know what? There's some mission things that will come up if you have either fruits or vegetables. Let's grab some fruits. Or sorry, vegetables. And that'll be good. So one variety, but that still gives us enough room for grabbing some equipment here. And I guess some of you. And however many of these we can hit, which is one more. We'll eventually grab some more scrap. But for right now, this is going to be fine. We just don't have a lot of money at the moment. And we're not going to upgrade the boat until we get a mission done. All right, well, there we go. That's all that. Everything's set up right away. Hopefully that didn't take too long. We do need to get everything on board. Do we actually get everything on board? I feel like we would have had to... No, I guess we are. We're stocked. Torpedoes are already there. Torpedoes... Okay, I'm not sure why we didn't have to fast forward to get that going. I guess we're talking to you because you're right here. And let's go get us some new orders. And what we want to do is we really... I mean, this is our first patrol, so first patrol doesn't really matter. We'll just kind of grab whatever. They're all the same, aren't they? Just grab this one. This one's going to be fine. We just have to get the first patrol done before we can get anything else done, and that will be fine. Let's... Obviously, we're not at war yet. So we're going to go ahead and set up our little plot out here. And that's going to be how that goes. And for now, I'll bring you guys back once we've come across something. All right, we're back. We haven't really found anybody yet. Our patrol area did get updated. We are now officially at war with England. Technically at war with France, although I don't think we can engage them just yet. I did want to bring up something before I get too far along. The reason I have because you might not have seen the first series, the reason I have my officers set up the way I do is because we want to take advantage of both the navigation and the engine bonuses. The engine bonus gives us, if we have 2 sailors assigned to him, it gives us a fuel reduction of 30%. Plus, we can go faster if we need to chase down some boats and stuff like that. So that's very helpful. The navigation guy, when he has 2 sailors assigned to him, gives us 20% more fuel and energy. So it works for both topside and below when we're underwater as well. So the combination of that actually increases our fuel by a significant margin. The biggest negative of the Type 2A is the amount of fuel that it has. If we were going top speed, we really just would not have enough stuff to go our entire route. But by combining these with going actually pretty slow, I usually go at forward 1 until I get to my patrol area. And honestly, there's no reason not to go to patrol 1 until we find somebody. And the reason I say that is because it's kind of like that whole, you know, a stopped watch is right twice a day type of thing. We could be going at speed 3 and just always still miss people, right? So the difference between going speed 1 or speed 3 does not make any difference whatsoever because we don't know where these ships are coming from or when they're going to pass through our patrol area. So for me personally, I'm okay with traveling at a very slow speed, especially since we can speed things up until we find somebody. And then once we find somebody, we can have plenty of fuel to max out and go chase them down. So it's very, very important to have your officers. And this is why we have 2 sets of officers doing the same thing because they rotate when they sleep, right? And so we're always going to have 2 officers with 2 people attached to them doing these 2 respective jobs and stuff like that. Once we get a second radio operator, we'll actually alternate those as well. So we'll always have somebody on the radio, things like that. And it really comes out as very beneficial. So now that we've also set up our boat schedule where we dive for 2 hours and surface for 4 hours, every 4 hours we'll go below and we'll be able to get a really good sounding around us to see if we can find any other boats during that time. But like I said, as you can see, we still have 88% fuel after we come in all the way out here. You know, it's decent distance. And we're going to be able to run through our entire route, which is going to be 1,159 kilometers. And we have 7,400 kilometers of fuel left over. So even if we have to chase some people at max speed for a little bit of time, we are going to be fine on fuel. And so that's the reason why we have everything set up. I realized I hadn't explained that before because I just kind of assumed you were been watching. But if you're brand new to the channel and this is a new series, I kind of want to make sure you guys understood what that was doing and why I have those set up the way that I do. So we are going to... I'll go ahead and bring you guys along for a little bit here because we're going to turn on our schedule. Let's just see if we can find anybody here in these first couple of dips. And if we're not, I'll probably put another little skip in there just to kind of... I don't know, give you guys some... Wait, did you not go on the... we just timed it out just right where he's sleeping. Yeah, not having the 2 guys, a little bit fun, you know, and by fun I mean it's going to be a little challenging, but he'll come on wake here in a moment, and we'll get him on the there we go, and we'll get him on looking for some stuff here in a bit. All right, got a new communication now. These communications are helpful for helping us find new boats. So I'm actually gonna, typically what I do is I write these down in my little notebook here so that I can see if it's worth following up on. So let me just do that real quick. We'll write down this information and we'll have it for we'll determine if we can chase these guys down or if it's even worth it. Now that we've actually made it to our patrol area, I'm okay with chasing guys down even if they are outside of our patrol area. Until we get here though, I usually try to avoid chasing people down because it's just, we don't get credit for it in the same way. So this is a medium speed and a northern course. So, you know, somewhat vague information here, but 496 is, I think, relatively close to us. I'm not seeing no, never mind, I was wrong. Well, 496 is down here. Sorry, down here. And they're going north. They could run into our patrol area at some point, but actually we don't even have a mission to sink any ships immediately. So what we might want to do is just focus on finishing our patrol area since this is our very first patrol. And if we run into another guy along the way, so be it. But for right now, I think we ignore you, even though you could come into our patrol area. We don't know for sure if you will. You could be going this direction. You could be going all over the place. So we're going to go ahead and ignore that one. And we'll just kind of speed through our current stuff and see if we can find our own ship. Otherwise, we'll just finish our patrol, get back, and we'll be able to get a much better mission here in a bit. Great. We've already got somebody who's sick. Tuberculosis. This is just amazing. Gotta love having somebody get tuberculosis immediately. I mean, it does give us some crew experience, so I guess there's some benefit of somebody getting a illness that could kill them. That sounds really actually awful to be enjoying the benefits of that. Are you not getting on the radio? Do I have you set up wrong? Because I feel like you haven't been getting on the radio as much as I would have expected. I mean, I know we're only down for a couple hours. I should be on the radio primarily. Or on the hydrophone primarily. I don't think I have anything set up wrong. And, I mean, we got the boats. I mean, yeah, it's not down all the time. Oh, you know what I have? I know what I have wrong. I do have it wrong because I have you on the flip side of what I want you to be. I want you to be what I'm looking for. I'm looking for schedule. I need you to be flip-flopped because you're on schedule. No, this is right. You're on schedule for 1 hour of radio contact and 2 hours of being underwater. Yeah, I did it right. I don't know. Maybe I just haven't noticed that he's been on the hydrophone this whole time. But he should definitely be on the hydrophone. AN 255. And 6 knots. That's actually very precise information. I love that. Love the precise information. 255. Actually very close. 230 degrees. So 255 is actually where we're going to end up anyway. So if we were to kind of plug in where this guy is basically at, 230 is... Actually, this is perfect for us. This is definitely somebody we could chase down here. Because... Oh, that's not what I wanted. I want to erase you. Erase you with the eraser. And I want to move you just to kind of get you a little bit. There we go. This is actually great. So we know their speed, we know our speed, and we can definitely plan an intercept for this. So let's go ahead and get an intercept planned out. And that way you guys can kind of see what that looks like. So let me just draw a line from us to them. And again, we don't know exactly where they are, but we got approximate and it's going to be close enough. We also know the course that they're going on. So we'll draw that out. And then we will, first things we want to do is we want to plot out their speed. And I'm probably just going to go with the 60 here. Well, let's do 30. It's all relative. So it doesn't really matter what we do as far as how far distance we put. I just need to have 2 circles that are relatively the same size. Normally what I would do is I would do 6 for them and 13 for us because our top speed when we're at flank is 30. Or it's 13. But in this case, because the circles would be really small, I'll just multiply both by 5. So that'll be 30 for them and 65 for us. And that'll give us a much better circle to kind of plan an intercept here. So there's our 65. And so what we want to do is we want to draw an angle from them. Out to our circle along our line, and then back into their circle along their line. So we're at an 8.9 degree intercept here. 8.9 is right. Come on, there. And so at 13 knots, we should be able to intercept them right there. So this will be our intercept approximately. Now, that's not going to be perfect because we actually don't know exactly where they're at, but it's going to be pretty close. So we'll go ahead and draw our line over here. We'll also go ahead and make sure we're staying on the surface, and we'll also make sure that we're going at full speed. So we'll get over there, and once we get probably within the edge of this circle, we'll probably dive again, and by then we should be able to hear them, and we'll see where that gets us. A new important message. Okay, well, I mean, we can chase them down here in a second. We should have time to still go after the ship. It's actually in a similar area to us anyway. Let's go ahead and chase down this ship first, and then we can go after that sub. Okay, so now we're here. Now we're going to go down to periscope depth. We need to make sure to just put you on listen for contacts explicitly, so we can check for contacts real quick. I know you're sleeping, but we need to try and find this guy pretty quickly here, and then we can go after this other sub. Alright, so we found some propellers. Propellers are at 18 degrees. So a little bit off from us. We're going to check in here. 18 degrees would be... actually, it looks like they might have gotten a little bit ahead of us. If they're over here, they're... I guess they could have gotten there if they were like literally in the bottom edge of this. So therefore they got further along. That's totally fine. This is okay. We can pivot now, and that's the reason why we want to go underwater here. So now how we're going to pivot is, first up, we're going to see if we can get an intercept currently. This is a different boat. So we are actually going to ignore this boat because this is not the same boat, because they're apparently going north. Still would have thought we would have found the other boat by now. Because that can't be the same boat if our intercept's way up there. If this increases, if this, there's the other one. That's the one we're looking for. I was going to say, something's not right here. Say, if their bearing increased, it went from 17 to 8, or from 18 to 19, we would know that they were heading, you know, to our right, you know, southwest, or south, yeah, southwest. But since they actually decreased, that does mean that this boat is heading northeast of us. Now, here's the boat. This 328 should be the boat that we were expecting, because 328 is actually way up here. Again, could still be the same boat we were expecting if they were in a different part of this quadrant than dead center. I just kind of guessed dead center. If they were up here and we're moving down, this 328 could be the right boat. And it does say they're closing in. So if currently at our max speed, we would have an intercept right there. I'm going to call this IB2 or IB1 for a second. So intercept B, if you will. And we're going to stop for a second and see where they currently are. So currently they're right there. We'll just call this B1. And so if we draw a line here along this, I mean, the good news is we'll be able to get a good intercept just heading straight at these guys. Is that 230? Yeah. Okay, so that's the guys we were expecting. That is the 230. It is exactly the guys we were expecting. Let's go ahead straight for intercept here. We'll go ahead and go back to full speed, and we'll get close enough to these guys to be able to do something here, and we'll go ahead and go back to surface as well. Actually, the intercept will be a little bit further back, but this is going to be fine. What we might want to do is plan to be maybe like, I don't know, 1,500 meters off from this line right here, and just kind of sit there waiting for him a little bit. And I think that'll be fine. There's a good chance we'll just intercept these guys and then plant some explosives like boredom and all that kind of stuff. Partly because there's a good chance that this is not a British flagged ship. It is going to be broad daylight when we get closer here. So we are ignoring a ship over here to our right, but I'm okay with that for the moment. Interestingly enough, we're getting closer to the sub, but we need to go explore. Wouldn't be surprised if we could see this thing relatively soon, although we don't have currently anybody on the lookouts. Let me get you up here looking for contacts. We don't need the navigation right this second. I would expect to be able to see something by now. Which did head us, and there it is. Can we see what... Okay, we don't have any sort of zoom. Can't really see what kind of ship it is. It is British. Okay, so we could sink this with torpedoes if we wanted to. We know its bearing. We know everything about it. Let's go and go periscope depth. It's possible they've already seen us. And they could be pivoting. We don't know for sure. But since it's British, we don't actually have to board them. If we want to just get our first taste of firing some torpedoes here. Honestly, I think we'll go ahead and just alarm. Get everybody enabled. Alright, let's put you on the attack scope. Let's put you on the torpedo calculator. You are on the engines right now. We definitely want to maintain some torpedoes here in a moment, but we don't have to do it right this second. You're obviously going to be listening for contacts, which we'll find this contact very quickly here. And then we will have you maintain some torpedoes here momentarily. Good news about the ship is we know its speed, we know its bearing. Unless it's spotted us and starts swerving all of a sudden, we know a lot about it. Mouse is being a little weird. It wasn't letting me move it. So let's go ahead and check here. See if we can get a good vision on this bad boy. It's pretty far away still, which is good for us in a way because hopefully it means that it has not spotted us yet. But we know it's out there. So we got the freighter at 351 degrees right now. So what we wanted to do is, first off, let's see if... I actually want to slow us down a little bit. We don't need to be going that fast. Okay. Now with this new speed, our intercept is right there. Let me just draw a little dot here. And just to get a quick bearing of where it's at currently. It's right there. That veered a little bit off of where we had originally seen it, but it's still going, I believe, at this 230, which tells us exactly kind of where it's at. It's the same, yeah, it's parallel, so this is 230 still. So we know exactly where it's going. Kind of want to get, again, a little bit off. Let's see, this may be planned for 1,000 meters. I mean, it's about the same distance, so the intercept here at 1,000 should be pretty close to where we want. And so we'll go back to speed 3, and we'll just kind of cruise along here. And current distance is... We can start plugging in some stuff, right? Current distance is what? 9 kilometers, actually further than I expected, but that's okay. So if we come in here, we can actually go ahead and say target speed, ship speed is 6 knots. That's the information we had before. Target distance, I mean, it's 9,000, but that's just to kind of keep an eye on it for right at the moment. I don't think we're going to be able to get precise 9,000. That's close enough. And then angle on bow will be its angle compared to us. So along its line, back to it, out to us. Well, we're talking very tight angle right now. 12 degrees, basically. So we are 12 degrees to its left, which will be negative 12 degrees. Close enough. Something like that. That kind of gets us started here. So we got speed, we got distance, and we got angle. That's at least getting us some information plugged in. And we can kind of keep an eye on things here in a second. I did not mean to remove you, my friend. So we'll cruise along here. We'll get this thing a little bit closer. If this is 9,000, then by the time we get here, we'll see. Really, we're just trying to get close to this circle here at this point. There's another set of propellers. Those are 73 go, so they're almost to our due right of us. Alright, we're getting pretty close to where we want to be. So I assume that we're not far off. So it is at 348. There it is. Big and beautiful. Definitely want to lock you. You are a what type of freighter? I think you're actually... I think you're actually an explorer. Hard to tell, but I believe you look more explorer than... You're not tower, because you don't have the things on the back. And I don't think you're... It's hard to tell from this angle. Explorer's got more of a flat back in the back, so I think it's this one. Speed, 6 knots. Angle on bow, we'll get that here in a second. Distance. We can go ahead and just measure the distance here, I suppose. $2,700. That sounds about right. We can even get a good exact picture of where it's at. We were to just temporarily stop. It is right there. And we'll go ahead and just get back to, I guess, speed 3 for now. We'll go ahead, keep going here. So it is currently at 2,900 meters. So I think that's what we had, right? Yeah, basically. So that's pretty close. We might want to just bump this up to 2,900 just because I'd rather be far than too close. And then the angle on bow is still heading on this direction here. Looking from their ship, we're at 28 degrees from them. So we are to their left at 28 degrees. Cool. So that's where we're at right now. And I should probably put this on them before I set the 28 degrees because it's not accurate otherwise. Make sure this is changed. 28. Okay. Pretty close. So we're in a good spot. We're at 2,900 meters. We'd like to get a little bit closer, of course. Pretty much when it gets a bit bigger in this view is when we're going to be fine. I could probably slow down a little bit here. Because we're going to fire when we get about here and they're about there. I don't want to get there too fast. Let's keep cruising along here. I'm actually going to put our... Well, we'll be fine here. Do we want to turn? We probably have to turn and face them. Although, truth be told, our torpedoes should be able to turn and make that good 90 degree right after they exit the boat. Alright, I don't know how much I want to speed up here because I think we're kind of just... We don't want to go too fast. I guess we can go a little bit faster. I mean, anything within 2,000 meters is kill range. We're within 500 meters of our current target that we're going for. They are getting pretty big in the scope, so we're feeling like this is a pretty good shot here soon. Current angle on bow is 49 degrees. They're at 320. I mean, we'd like to shoot. They're a little bit maybe closer to 290 at some point. But let's get the distance here, and we can just use this for the distance again, because we've got a pretty good understanding of who and what they are. Something like that. They're within kill range for sure. All right, we probably need to be doing this shot here soon. Let me stop. Check our intercept. They're right there. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and get back up to speed 1 now. We're gonna go ahead and keep going this direction. And so their distance is 1300. This is actually good. We want to take this shot soon. So they're at 1300, which is exactly what I had them at. Their angle on bow is to us is 59.1, which is almost exactly. This is a good shot, honestly. Okay, you know what I should have done? I messed up. I should have had you maintaining. We need to get rid of you guys. Give them to you. We might actually miss this now because I forgot about the maintaining. Oops. It's going to take them a couple minutes to maintain this. Yeah, this was a bit of a mistake. That was my bad. I think we'll still be okay. He's already a quarter way through the maintenance. I don't think we need to fire more than one here either.
Aktualisieren. Lage 6, 5, links. Schussunterlagen aktualisieren. Entfernung zum Ziel 1, 2, 9 Meter.
It's actually going to be a decent shot, I think. I have to come out of the torpedo and take an immediate 90 degree, but I think we're going to be okay with that. We're already about halfway through the maintenance. Come on. I think we just shoot basically dead center, maybe right at this stack here. Yeah, we got the identification right. We wanted to shoot about 290 anyway, I think. I think this is actually going to be fine. Okay, torpedoes maintained. Anything we care? I mean, I think the angle on bow's right. I think the knots are right. I think the distance. We could probably update the distance real quick. Being a little bit long is not really a problem. Yeah, this is fine. Let's communicate all this. Communicate that. Flood the tube.
Bug links. Rohr 1 bewässern. Rohr 1 bewässert. Aktualisieren. Winkel 7, 9 links.
Okay. Let's go.
Los!
Alright, let's close this. Close this. Go back to our map. Let's go to you. I should have had you on the torpedo thing, sorry. I need to move you out of the way.
140 Meter.
Come on, move you out of the way. I want to check you. Watch the torpedo. Wait, did I? Oh, we're good. Okay, I didn't see the ship at first. We are good. I mean, I don't know. It's gonna. It's looking decent. Ship needs to move a little bit more. We might miss. Are we gonna miss in front? It's hard to tell. No, I think we won't hit quite middle, I don't think. It's a little bit closer to the front than I would have liked. But it does look like the ship is moving into the path. Okay, so we're good. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Our first kill, Let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on, don't be a dud. This is actually about a perfect shot as you can get. Almost directly 90 degree here. Come on, don't be a dud. Don't be a dud. Don't be a dud. Don't be a dud. That was a good one. Ah, it's very satisfying. Very satisfying. Very satisfying. Oh, sink fast, my friend. Sink fast. That felt good. Oh, we haven't had a torpedo shot in a while because I've had some, if you guys know, it's been a little slow lately. That is a good way to end our very first episode here. Hopefully you guys like the new format that I'm trying to get to the action quicker. I still want to explain things, because if you're new to the game and you want to learn how to play the game, I'd like you to learn along with me. So I'm not trying to avoid that. But like just driving around and, you know, on the map, there's nothing to learn there. But once we find a ship and we can intercept, I think bringing you guys along for that was the right move. Hopefully you guys agree. Let me know in the comments below if you do in fact agree. But there we go. First ship sunk. Feeling pretty good about that. Technically, we could probably go chase down that other ship even if we wanted to, but they're definitely sinking. In fact, we're actually going to go ahead and... Where is this other ship? Just out of curiosity. Oh, there's actually a few ships over there. There might be a convoy we'll be going after here in the next episode. So that would be kind of cool. There it goes. Oh, I feel so good. Oh, we actually got a shot off. I'm so happy, guys. If you can't tell. I'm very, very happy with that result. Let's go ahead and go back surface for a second. And there goes our ship. So we'll stop watching that. I just want to make sure I get these in a good spot, because I do want to be able to see torpedoes and stuff up there. I think it's kind of fun watching the torpedo action cam. I know it's not realistic, but hopefully you guys are okay with the small gap in realism to be able to see the coolness of this shot itself. But there we go. We can stop our alarm for now, and we can stop our direct orders for now, and we're gonna put a cut in there. Let me go and just pause it so I don't get too distracted. Again, please, if you do like this type of video and want to see more of them, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you know when these videos are more like them go live. Consider commenting below. I try to read all the comments and respond to as many as I can. And I do have channel memberships turned on if you want to support the channel that way. So if you're enjoying the other series, I apologize for restarting it, but I think this is going to be a little bit more streamlined, a little bit more action-packed, and again, carry more of the burden of the boring stuff on my side of things, because I still have to do them. I still have to play them. I'm just not going to record all of them. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you. May God bless you, and hope you join me again next time. Goodbye. I wanted to give a special shout out to the following channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.